Peace, peace, peace. Health, wealth, strength, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Joy, happiness, and abundance I grant unto you all, divine beings of planet Kai. I am back with another episode of Back to the Beginning. Oh, this one won't be long, and we are coming to a wrapping up of the episodes of Back to the Beginning. Yes, because the ancestors are saying it is getting down to the wrap. Yes. So I would like to start off by saying there are these persons, especially I would like to say also I had a lot of evidence on these persons, but because they tapped my phone, when I do a video, if it is even, let's say, like 5 minutes, it will be like even 500 megabytes. So I have to use editing and cut down the size of the video. When it is a hour, it is even 1 gig and all those stuff. Yes, so also where I was working at the car wash, the person who I was working for, I left my phone at times because he had a shop. I left my phone at times in the shop, and I pick up on the energy that even when I was at the studio, I pick up on the energy that they went into my phone and deleted some of the things. I had even videos where the neighbors, the grandson, one of the grandson of the voodoo priest next door was threatening me. Yes, telling me that he would shoot me and all these things, and saying that I was trying to rape their little sisters. There was this time where I placed macas in the yard. I chopped down some maca tree and chopped them up and placed them in the yard because I got the download that these persons who were working, or be a voodoo or whatever you want to call it, were coming around the premises at night time, and I could hear them outside. And whenever I rise from my sleep, they would run off. So I did that. So there was this instance where they normally walk through the yard, so I told them that they shouldn't walk through the yard. So he was saying that I told them that they shouldn't walk through the yard and all these stuff. And I was like, nigga, I am trying to prevent them from not stepping on the macas and all these stuff. He was there pushing badness and all these things. I heard one of the little child gave out, "You tried to rape us." And I said, "What?" So I called the name of one of them and I said, "Did I do that?" The little one said no. The bigger one said yes. When the little one heard the bigger one say yes, she said yes too. I had it on recording and they deleted it, as I said. I also have on recording where the little one came in a towel. She was naked, with a towel wrapped around her, come right at the gate and opening up the towel. I had to tell her to get away and go over and stop doing those stuff, which was the video that I posted on YouTube, and they took it down. Yes, so that is it. I also had a video where I was recording the voodoo priest, because at that time when I was recording him, the self-proclaimed father was there, and I got a lot of information out of him. He's from St. Thomas. He said his name is Donald Reynolds. He said I got a lot of other stuff out of him, but these people in this community, especially the older persons, they play as if they are blind whenever situations go down around them. Like, for instance, if shooting or anything should go down, they would play as if they are blind. They play as if they are deaf, and play as if they have mental illnesses and all these stuff, because they are old and up in age. Yes. And also, as I said, I said my grandmother's sister, which was the funeral that they faked her death. Her name is Dorothy. I don't know her real name, her government name, but I know her by the name Dorothy. They faked her death, and I picked up on that energy. And also how I knew that they faked her death. First and foremost, a few months before they faked her death, I got the information that she was going blind, or she hardly could see. And I saw her at my aunt's funeral, which is the daughter of my grandmother. I saw her at the funeral, and she saw me, and I went over and hugged her, and I was there speaking with her, and one of my cousins came across, and she was like, "Whoa, you turn cartel, you turn white, man." So I was like, "Whoa, oh, they say that she can hardly see and all this stuff." So I see that it was all lies. They like to pretend. And when I saw her, I picked up on the energy that nothing was wrong with her. Nothing was wrong with her. And a few days later, I got a message that she passed away. I knew that she didn't, because I was saying to myself, I didn't even see her in the realms. So I know that she wasn't passed on. So I didn't go to the funeral. As I said, they were doing that to do a ritual, to get me to go to the funeral, a fake funeral, to do a ritual on me, so that they could manifest a funeral for me. Yes. And also, I spoke on this where the self-proclaimed mother was trying to set me up, because I was exposing them. There was this instance where a self-proclaimed sister, which is her daughter, kept a dance or a shop open, or whatever they wanted to call it. And I went and I was helping them. I was in the shop selling, and I was there, and I went round to the other side. There's two sides of the shop. I went round to the other side and was sitting by myself after a while. And self-proclaimed mother came with a phone and gave it to me. She never said anything to me, so what I did was I put the phone in my pocket. She never had any phone either anyway. So after a while, I took out the phone out of my pocket, because this energy came to me. Look at the phone screen. I look at the phone screen. Nobody's picture was on it or anything. He was just a normal screensaver. So I placed the phone in my bag, and after the event was finished and we were about to go home, I heard this nigga quarreling, said he lost his phone. Same time when he said that, it clicked back to my mind that she brought the phone to me and said nothing to me. So I took the phone out of my bag and put it in self-proclaimed sister's bag, because I told myself I wouldn't get into any problem for anything that I don't know about or didn't know about. So a youth was there saying that he saw who took up the phone and they went away. Anyway, when the youth went away, before he went away, he was saying he was going for police and all these things. So we went away before he even came back. We ended up leaving. So when we reached down to self-proclaimed mother's house, I said the phone is in self-proclaimed sister's bag. She started to quarrel, saying how I mash up her life and how I'm going to make people look at her and one bag of stuff. So I got angry and I said, what do you want me to do? You brought a phone to me and you didn't say anything to me. I know that you don't have any phone. She was saying she thought it was my phone. I said, look at my phone. My phone is cracked up. It has a blue back. The phone that she brought to me was even in a case. I said, don't bother with those rubbish. And they were saying that I should bring back the phone to the youth. What I did was I left around there about 3 a.m. and I walked back and went around to self-proclaimed father's house. Now before all of that, she was asking for my blood, wanted me to donate blood so that she could do a surgery. She said she was about to do a surgery on her eye. As I said, she had a situation with her eye. She had a tumor in her head side or whatever. I told her that I wouldn't give her because she has put me through a lot, and when I turned Christian I cut them off completely, and they found ways and got back into my energy. So she promised me shoes, and I wanted the shoes to go to the party, and she used that against me, saying that she wouldn't buy me the shoes and all these stuff. That is what she always do. If she promised me something or it was about to give me something, there would have to be something that she have to get out of it. That is just the way she is. Yes, so anyway, I said I would give the blood. Now the day, I think it was a day after the party, I was coming back down to Maple, where I was, because I only went up there because of the party. So I came back down, and I should say also my ancestors told me that I should not have go, and it's confirmation. Because of stubbornness I went and almost got into problem. So self-proclaimed sister called me and said she was going to Mapen to give blood also. Now she was saying that nobody else in the family wanted to give blood, not even her brother. None of her nephews wanted to give blood. But I picked up on the energy that they wanted to do something with my blood. They wanted to do tests and all these confirmation and all these things on my blood. With my blood and all these things. And also I picked up on the energy that she knew that my blood would heal her. Yes. Because of who I am. So when I was going on my way, I went with self-proclaimed sister. She came in a car and I went with her. She was telling me that they found some way to give back the youth the phone. I tell you, bro, I cried because I was saying they are so heartless. They are so heartless. She didn't even apologize. She even saying that I would mess up her business and all these things. They didn't apologize. I cried in the vehicle. I was crying, bro. I was crying, sis. Telling you, I was crying, literally. When I went to the hospital, however, was Denby Hospital, and we went to the doctor. I had flu, so that was because of the works of my ancestors also, because I didn't have any flu when I went up there. So when I went to the doctor and the doctor heard me coughing and all these things, the doctor said because of that I couldn't donate any blood. When the doctor told me that, I was so happy. I went away immediately. She was asking that if I wouldn't wait for her. No, I went away immediately. No. As you have heard, I was speaking to her on the phone. I was telling her that they were going to prison. I prophesied to her and tell her a lot of things that happened in the past and all these things. After that, they hearted their way into my energy once more. She called me and was speaking to me, trying to dumb me down and play mind games, calling me brother and all these things, trying to play on my heart chakra. When she found out that I wouldn't speak to her when she called, what she did was call and give her daughter or her son the phone, saying speak to uncle, when they know that I am not related to them. So I blocked them all. That was what I did, yes. I blocked them all. And also, they were doing this thing where they were doing spell work over me when I was speaking on the phone. Yes. They were doing spell work meanwhile I was speaking on the phone with them. And also, they were only reaching out to find out if I knew what they were doing behind the scenes and how much I knew and all these stuff. And also, when they reached out, they would want to know if the spell work is still working, because they know that I was aware that they were a part of the plots and the scheme, but they were doing spell work to keep themselves attached to me, to have karmic bonds to me, karmic ties to me and all these things. So when they called and I answered and was speaking to them and all these things, they would know that the spell work is still working, even though I was speaking out against them. Yes, so I cut them off eventually. And I didn't really come to really speak about this, but I just felt like I should make that clear, because I didn't mention it in previous videos. Now, what I really came to speak about is my parents, my grandfather, more so my father's father, my real parents. So as I said in previous video, Jennifer Campbell is my mother. If you go and search of the situation with me being missing Hassan Campbell, you will see her. And if you look at her and you know when someone is on drugs, you will see that she's on drugs. Yes, she was heavily on drugs. Now, it was the system, because of their connects to the system, how they got to do whatever they did and all these stuff. Now my father is Clive Campbell, DJ Cool Hercs. Now it was illuminated to me that it was a fraudulent marriage. First and foremost, they silenced my father. Cindy Campbell is my aunt, the brother of DJ Cool Hercs. She was a major part. She played a major part in this. I saw her when I was being gang stalked, as I said. Self-proclaimed father made me speak to her on the phone. I saw her in this 3D realm. I saw her in the spiritual realms. Yes. She used to drive past where I am right now every day in vehicle. And she does spell work because she is a part of my bloodline, but she's a traitor. And grandfather knew. My grandfather is Keith Campbell. I think he cloned the first sheep or something like that. He was one who was teaching on narcissism and all these things. He passed away in 2012, where they said he hanged himself and said that he was on drugs. But those were all lies. He was unalived by Cindy Campbell and her posse and crew. It was all premeditated. When my father got stabbed, it was this instance where my father got stabbed up. They say he was parting a fight, but that was also premeditated to take his life. I know that he is aware of me and all these stuff, but just as how they are attacking me and doing spell work, he has been going through those things too. My grandfather went through the same things. My grandfather is the one who left the inheritance for me. And Jennifer Campbell was with my father, and she, as I said, they are connected to the system, and that is how she got that story out and saying that Shamika Campbell was my mother and she was on drugs and she was abusing me and my sister, and Jennifer Campbell had to be the foster parent and blase. Those are all lies. Shamika Campbell didn't even exist. That was just a makeup story. If you also listen to what Jennifer Campbell said in the video, said she would something, I don't even want to mention that, but just go and check out the video. You will see that they were faking crying and all these things. Yes. And I also pick up on the energy that the person that he was with, something another us, that her partner didn't like me. Yes. And also it seems as if, well, that doesn't concern me anyway, but it seems as if he was set up also in the midst or whatever. Seems as if he was set up in the midst because he was one who was wealthy. But that has nothing to do with me, as I say. Oh, Jennifer Campbell, she had grudges towards my father because my father got involved with her and she got my father doing drugs and all these things. That is why if you check up on the history of my father, he was railroaded and they tarnished his name to silence him. And as you would also see that when he got stabbed up, he had little or no finance for his surgery and all these stuff because they were behind the scene orchestrating these stuff. Now, my father is the godfather, the father of hip hop. He was the one who created this hip hop thing. And up to this day, doesn't get the credit that he should because of ones and ones doing cover shit behind the scenes. Behind the scene. So he, as you will see, he gave up the journey of being a part of the music thing when he got stabbed up because that was their aim, to get him out of the industry and all these things. Now, why, as I said, Cindy Campbell was behind the stabbing up of my father because she wanted to unalive my father, because she was jealous of my father. If you even notice, there was this interview that they went on, both Cindy Campbell and Clive Campbell, DJ Cool Hercs, and it was her that was doing most of the talking. And it's like she wanted to be in his space, you know. She wanted the essence of my father because she was the one who kept a party, and that was where things really done started off for my father the real way. So she was named the godmother, grandmother of hip hop, and he was the godfather of hip hop, the father of hip hop. Yes, so that is it. She was jealous of my father, just as my mother was jealous of my father because my father left her because she had him on drugs. She was working also with Cindy Campbell. They had him on drugs and all these things, so out of her anger, that is why she was abusing me, and she kept me away from my father. And as I said, they silenced my father. My father knows about me, but they silenced my father, and that stabbing up issue was another threatening situation for his life also. Yes, my friend. And my grandfather came to me and made all these things known to me. Yes. My grandfather came to me and illuminated a lot of things to me. My grandfather is high ranking in the spiritual realms, just as he was high ranking when he was alive. But they plotted and schemed against him and took his life. Inheritance was left for me. The situation was where they was thinking that the inheritance would be left for one of them as the children. Yes, so that is it. And also I picked up on this energy where my grandfather was around persons that were working against him also. He was around co-workers and all these persons he was working with that were his handlers and he didn't know. Yes, so they were attacking him just as I am being attacked now. Just as I was being attacked heavily, that was how they were attacking him also. And all these things. Now Nettie Campbell, my grandmother, she used to visit Jamaica. What's the name that she went by? Miss Miss Ellen. That was the name that I knew her by. She used to visit my grandma. That's my mother's mother, who I grew up with. She used to visit, and I think she said she was from North Carolina. She used to visit once in a while, all these stuff. I still remember how she looked and all these things. But at that time I didn't know that she was my grandmother. I was told that she was a friend of my grandmother. That was all I was being told. Yes, so that is how I know that she was my grandmother, because I said my grandfather came and told me all these things. Yes. So that is it. My grandfather is Keith Campbell, my grandmother Nettie Campbell, and my father DJ Coolherks, Clive Campbell, my mother Jennifer Campbell. I also picked up on the energy that the fake marriage that was being done was because it's like they thought that the inheritance would be passed down to my father, And also they had to do that to do some covering up, because remember I am a Sonic Campbell, so they had to do that to do some form of covering up so that they could say she is the sister of my father or whatever. But all of that was plots and schemes, They were working behind the scenes. I also picked up on this energy where I was watching a video where I saw where Rashad Jamal was speaking on the children who went missing at Walmart. And there was this lady who was speaking out about me being missing, said she was living around the area. She lived around the area and she has a child who is the same age as me, who is a girl. And I commented under her stuff and let her know that I am a Sonic Cam, but she ignored it anyway. I also picked up on the energy that they all knew. It was like they got a cut off the butter or whatever. No, it was illuminated to me that she was like, it was like some form of karma or something of that sort. So she came out speaking about that, and also because he was aware that I was also speaking upon the situation for myself, because I know they are all watching. And who knows, maybe she's a family member. That's what I just heard. Yes, so that is it. They are being silent. My father was being attacked and being silenced and drained of his finances and all these things. So I know that my father wanted to be a part of my life, but my mother didn't want him around, because it was like if he didn't want her because he had a wife, a different woman. She was jealous of that. She wanted him. Because of her jealousy, she kept me away from my father and all these things. Now Jennifer Campbell is still alive. I saw her in the spiritual realms. She looks the same, only that she is looking older, but she looks the same as in terms of being on drugs and all these things. Yes, so she faked her death. She's living in another country, wherever she's at. Africa. She's living in another country and she faked her death. Yes, so she has also been working behind the scenes to attack me. We were all a part of her plots and schemes. Yes. So they have always been wanting to know if I knew who my parents were. Now you all know that I know. You bunch of, I don't know what to call you all, karmics. You bunch of murderers, I know. So that is it. What is there to speak on? That's actually it. Yes. My grandfather left stuff for me. Stuff that I am not even aware of. Which they were aware of. A lot of stuff. And also readers came up against me, especially this one named something of Mesopotamia. Yes, I picked up on that energy. She also took a slice of the dice of the cake. Yes, to come up against it because she's also from California. And I know that she knows about me, she knows who I am and all these stuff. She been doing readings and gaslighting me, like she would speak on my situation. She would tap into my energy and read my energy. And she would at the end speak like she was speaking to someone else. She has been doing readings about me and doing like it's about someone else. And I know that it is me she's speaking about. For a moment she had me, I'm not going to lie. She was also spying on me. I picked up on that energy spiritually. And how they spy on you spiritually? As I say, they send flies and roaches and all these things. Yes. So that is it. She doesn't even do personal readings, and I picked up on the energy that she isn't really gifted. Well, she has gifts, yes, she has intuition and all these things, but she isn't gifted. And also she has been stripped of the little that she have because of coming up against me, and I say this with no apologies because it's a fact. She is also, or should I say was also, a part of the Mormons. She believed in this Jesus shit, and as soon as I used to tag her in my videos, she was speaking on the same things that I was speaking on. I noticed that she was even stealing my verbiage and all these things. She's a copycat, and she does anything to please the crowd. She does whatever she thinks that will get her views. She's all in it for the money. And I also picked up on the energy that yes, she may be going through situations, but at the end of the day, most of it is pretending, because you only pretend like they are going through the things that you are going through so that they can lure you into believing their deceptive schemes and cons. She's also casting down false teachings to the people. Projection. Yes. Change your dirty ways. I know you are watching me. You watch me behind the scenes. Change your dirty ways and stop the rubbish. Stop the rubbish. I would also like to say to the chosen ones, remember, brothers and sisters, that it's 1044 of us, and there are millions in the world. So open your eyes and your ears. Peace, peace, peace to all the gods and lords of planet Kai.